I think he's based off a Chinese tale about a owl that knows 10,000 facts or something like that.
Yeah, there's also something like that in Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's an owl that guards that library.
That's what it made me think of too.
Oh, okay.
See, I think it was based off of those Tootsie Pop commercials because, I mean,
Mr. Owl.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
everyone knows owls have the stereotype of being wise, even though real owls are not that wise.
I really wanted him to go, like, while he was charging up a move, like, 1, 2, 3. No,
3.
but that never happened. Yeah.
It reminds me of the owl from The Secret of Nim. Since we're all just naming random fucking owls.
You mean the owl that was voiced by
Christopher Reed?
No, it was
Samuel Jackson?
Donald
Trump?
No.
Don Knotts?
No.
Don Cheadle.
Why do you guys do this? I had it, and then you knocked me off. Dom Irera, I think it was who the voice of that.
Don't know that guy.
No, I don't know that guy either.
So anyway,
The one people we said were better.
Yeah. Thanks, Don King.
Thank you for that, for saying something that is completely inaccurate just to throw me off. Awesome.
Welcome.
What's up, Jax?
Really cool.
You're very welcome.
Anyway, thanks for the call, Diamelos. If you want to call Limit Break Radio, let us know what you think of patch 3.4. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord.
Biggest letdown of the dungeons, they just reuse dungeon gear.
Yeah.
So lame.
What do you mean?
Like
For the glamour.
Yeah, glamour. But I mean, like the gear that you get,
They're poopy looking.
yeah, it's like I think the healer stuff is they reskin the cowboy looking crap.
Good.
Ugh.
Good. Good. You know why?
We want new looking gear for the dungeons. Like some of the dungeons give really cool gear.
Dungeons should put out shit gear anyway.
No.
Well, it is always
That's not
shitty
for
gear,
glamour,
but it doesn't
though.
have to look shitty.
No, why do you want to farm dungeons for a cool glamour piece as
Because
opposed
I
to
have to farm dungeons anyway for
any
tomes.
other relevant content
No,
in this or any
Nika's
other
got it.
worthwhile content?
Nika's-
I have to
Nika's
farm dungeons
got
anyway
it.
for tomes. I want to get something out of it.
Yeah, you do get something. A Grand
Yeah,
Company seal.
There's already
Fuck.
barely any reason to do it right now anyway.
No, you have. That's bullshit. That's total fucking bullshit. You've got to do dungeons every time you log in because you're doing expert roulettes and you're getting tomes. So as long as you're getting tomes, that should be the tome output. It should never put out any good-looking or relevant gear. Ever.
Are you kidding? It's a fucking
Ever.
This is a
No.
library with rare tomes. You're telling me it shouldn't have ancient, cool-looking gear in it? It should.
First of all, let's at least have a fucking consistent dogma on the show because it is pointless to put good-looking gear into dungeons when you have other things that don't output any gear at all. Put the good gear in shit like Diadem. Put the good-looking gear in shit like Palace of the Dead. So give me a reason to do that in the first fucking place.
Why can't all gear just look good?
Oh my god.
Why does there have to be shitty looking gear?
It's all just Grand Company seals anyway. Who cares?
That's a subjective
glamour,
opinion.
I'm not turning into Grand Company seals.
What you think looks like shit it doesn't look like shit to somebody else or may complete a glamour set. So don't be so fucking narrow-minded. But, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to put anything that looks even worth a goddamn out of dungeons because that's the content that everyone does on a regular basis anyway. Don't put anything relevant or good-looking out of that.
But there are some dungeons that actually have good-looking gear, and those are the pieces that never drop for me anyway. So I'm still farming for some old dungeons. So it's worth it.
I would much rather...
You don't always get the gear you want, even if it looks good, so who cares?
I would much rather have that gear placed into Palace of the Dead so I have a reason to do Palace of the Dead.
Apparently the new treasure
Palace of the Dead's doing
thing
fine
there
right
is
now.
actually really good now.
That's great. But I'm just saying, like, there's no purpose to put good-looking gear into dungeons. That was the right move. Square Enix made the right move on that one. That was smart.
What did they? I thought they weren't adding anything to Deep Dungeon until the
No, Accursed Horde's out now.
No, putting out... I'm saying putting ugly gear into dungeons was the right move.
He said something about how
Yeah.
They
Deep
added
Dungeon's
the Accursed
fine
Horde,
right
which
now.
is a treasure chest
Yeah,
system.
the Accursed Horde chests are in there now.
Right. What is that drop that suddenly made everybody want to do it?
Tier 4,
Gear,
Tier 5 materials,
hairstyles.
minions.
Okay, everyone just talk at once.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
Jesus.
Nobody's yelling.
Oh, and no one talked. Great. Awesome.
Tier 4 and 5 materials, the Edda minion, and all the minions that are droppable from Aquapolis. Sort of glamour sets, including Thavnarian gear and the Moonfire set. And there'll be new stuff coming when 250
And there's an
hits.
exclusive hairstyle.
Yep.
Good gear. Good stuff.
So...
all the stuff that's already in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Except an exclusive hairstyle and an exclusive minion.
Okay, so shit that I don't give a shit about.
It's Gil.
Yeah,
You can
it's
sell it in the auction house.
it's good money.
Tradable.
Except now it's all those things that were super expensive. It's now bombed the prices. So who cares?
The hair's like 5-10 mil.
Oh, you can
the
actually
hair
sell
is
the
really
hair.
good.
Yeah.
Well, see, no reason to go in there. Just buy it.
Shut up.
Because I
hate
have
so-
10
I
mil
hate
just
you
laying
so
around.
much.
Callow, the self-fulfilling prophecy come to life.
I dropped 20 mil on daggers. So
God.
So please give me your Gil making secrets. Oh wait, you don't have any.
yeah. Oh, I make
You're
Gil.
talking, he's got 20 million. He just dropped on stupid
he
daggers.
says meet someone who has their own ways of making Gil and take their Gil.
That's
his
the
strat-
fun.
that's
there
his
you
strat-
go.
strategy.
Oh, if it's so easy, do it, Nika.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's not.
Anyway, so I think that is the smart move. Take anything that even looks remotely good or awesome out of the fucking dungeons and put them in content that's worth doing, and take, that was the thing that never made sense about the randomized appearance out of gear that comes out of Diadem. Right? Like, if that had a static appearance and had randomized stats, that I could understand. But having a static appearance is important for funneling people into doing that have an interest in glamour. You've got to look at the motivation. Stat is part of the motivation, but glamour is also a definite big part of motivation. And if you want to get people out of their comfort zone and out of the ruts that they've worked themselves into of only logging on to do their dungeons and then to do once a week, the Void Arc raid, you know what I mean? Like, get them out of their patterns and put the cool stuff that people want, and that people are going to want, into content that's not as trafficked as often. I mean, that's a small change that you don't even have to readjust the reward structure to start doing now. And it's smart that Square Enix did that. I'm glad that some of the glamour that comes out of those dungeons looks like crap.
Well, speaking to the Diadem thing, the big thing that fucked them there was the way they did the randomized glamour. It was a glamour unto itself. So even if you got a cool glamour but shitty stats, doesn't matter. You're not going to use it because you can't glamour it onto something.
That's right. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. The whole system made zero sense. But I do think that would probably be more appropriate for dungeon gear. If your dungeon gear had a randomized appearance, like, people would just use it for stats, and that's the only thing that they would care about. And again, I do think that's important, an important factor to consider when talking about what motivates people to get into certain events. I mean, would you have been half as motivated to get into salvage if that gear didn't look as great as it did?
Salvage? Yeah, that was like the best gear.
The stats were great. It was great looking, but I mean, like, I wanted it for both of those qualities. And even after,
and the lust,
even after the stats were, no longer relevant, I still wanted that design because it was a badass body design. That doesn't happen in FF14 ever, anywhere, in any form or fashion, and I think that part of it bothers me. That part of the game in general bothers me because I think it takes something away from the spirit of MMOs that is a big factor in people's motivation.
Absolutely does.